Hi, I'm Sharon, and I've just done an interview with Keith Andrew. It was absolutely brilliant. He's doing a fantastic job. If you get the opportunity to do an interview with him, do so, because he's doing a brilliant job of getting the word out there and promoting people that have disabilities, that proving that it doesn't matter if you've got a disability or if you whatever, you can go out there and do whatever you want to do.
Welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. I am your host, Keith Andrew. This is season 6 of the Keith Andrew Network. And today we have a very special guest. It's a very special guest live from England. We have Sharon Spink. Sharon Spink. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
That's all right. Thank you too, Keith.
Now the honor's all mine. For people who want to know what my talk show is about, whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, and to prove to them you can still amount to something. So that being said, I'm going to ask you some easy questions and some hard-hitting ones. And the first one I thought about was very interesting, is that you are actually your own boss, so you have your own company. What can you tell us about your company?
Yeah, I'm an actress. So being an actress means you're self-employed. I've been doing that since 2015. I do go to private acting classes. And so through having done those classes, they've given me the confidence to go out there and get roles in short films, theatre work. Not so much theatre because it tends to be for film and TV. But yeah, done feature films, voiceover work, things like that.
All right, and how does that relate to having your own company?
Because I'm self-employed, I am my business. It's all because we have to market ourselves. We are our own product things. So yeah, I get all business training through the acting classes as well. It's not just acting that they teach. They teach the business side of it as well as things like mindset as well. So we get a full package in there. So I've learned how to do the marketing side, learned how to network, and have a website, get my CV out there, get my show reel out there to people. I have been self-employed for quite a while because prior to being an actor, I also make jewellery. So I have that side of it as well, which that has now very much taken a back burner and become almost a hobby. Which is where it started off as a hobby. So it's gone back there because obviously the acting has now taken over.
Alright, so pretty much the company, it's just basically like what you do on your free time.
Say again?
Oh, so your company is pretty much what you do on your free time.
No, my company is what I do full stop. Because I don't have another job. But is it jewellery business that you're talking about? Because that is what I do in my free time when I get free time, which is very rare.
Alright, well, before we get to the acting, let's referring to I think it says Bobby and Braids. Bobby and.
It's actually it's Booby and the Beads because I'm also trained. I'm still in probation period, but I'm a breastfeeding counsellor. So the jewellery that I started making was for breastfeeding mums. It was jewellery designed that the baby could play with and keep their attention on whilst they were feeding, so that they weren't being distracted by things around them.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, bit different.
It's a good idea.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now the
But
next.
yeah.
Well, go ahead.
So yeah, but now I've moved that on as well. I don't just do that jewellery. I make a lot of wire wrap jewellery using things like beads and sea glass and things like that as well.
I should put that on my resume just to see people's reactions.
It does get some yeah. Must admit.
Now the next question I was going to ask you is, I actually interviewed a couple people from North Star Acting. Who invited you to be on that school, and how did you join? Like, were you invited, or were you like a guest, or how did all that come about?
Originally, I joined when they right at the beginning. Luana, who owns the business, she was part of another acting academy, but had branched away on her own and to set up Northern Star Acting. And she used to do classes for the kids after school. My little girl used to go because her two girls used to go to the same school as my two girls did. And so they went to the after school clubs. We got talking about acting and things. I'd fancied having a go at doing some presenting because I'd done some interviews on TV, and thought quite liked being in front of the camera. And I fancied doing presenting role, not even thought about acting. And then one day she said, "I'm starting doing adult acting classes. Are you interested? Do you want to come along? And come along, have a free trial, see what you think." And I was hooked. Absolutely, hook, line, and sinker. I was in, and I've not looked back. And it's just an absolute passion now.
No, absolutely. Now, how many years have you been acting? And have you ever been on TV, or have you been an extra?
I started in 2015. So prior to that, I hadn't actually done any acting and things. I've done, as far as TV, I've been in a couple of TV things as extras, but that's only nothing that you can say, oh yes, there's Sharon, you know what I mean, she's in whatever programme. But I've been in odd feature films, things like that. But I've got stuff that's ready to go out because obviously it's only 2015. The industry being as it is, feature films take a long time to get out there. When editing and filming and one thing and another. So I have got stuff that's almost ready to go out. I'm just trying to think of the feature films that I've done. I've done one recently called Remember, and it's a bit of a twist on the Guy Fawkes story. He's actually a vampire hunter, not a hunter for the members of Parliament. So, being Guy Fawkes, the release date for that one is the 5th of November. Hopefully that will be seen publicly.
What is your honest opinion about trying to find the words, because there's two subjects I like to talk to you about. What is your opinion about British acting schools versus American-wise acting schools? Do you think it's pretty much the same thing? Do you think it's a little different?
Having not been to an American acting school, I wouldn't know.
Right.
But we are taught sort of various different styles of acting. So we're taught sort of method acting, as it were, with people like Stanislavski, Lee Strasberg, that sort of thing. But then we're also taught Meisner a little bit as well, just so that we get a full round picture, and then we can make up our own minds as to which it is. So we probably take on a lot of the similar styles that people are taught over in the States anyway. But so I can't really compare because I've not been to the two. All I will say is that I know the classes that I go to, they're really good because they don't just teach acting, and I don't think you can just teach acting. You need to know. This industry it's such a minefield, and if you don't know what you're doing, it can be very expensive mistakes to make, because you can be paying for workshops or this cost, that cost, one thing another, or just unfortunately people being as they are, there are people out there who are very happy to try and rip people off.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what you're looking at and what you're doing, and you've not got that background and training, then say they can be very costly mistakes.
Now, for your acting school, do they guarantee you like extra roles in films, or is it just like you take the class and then they give you like a little paper say, "Congrats, you passed," and now you're like a certification?
No, they don't guarantee work because they're not an agency. They are an acting academy. What they do is they give you the skills so that you can go out there and find your own work. They do have an agency affiliated with them so that when you get to the right level, and you get onto Spotlight, which is our equivalent of IMDb, when you get on there, then the agency will take you on, and obviously they will put you forward for roles. No agency could guarantee you work because it's not their call. At the end of the day, it's
right.
It's down to whoever's making the production. But you are given those skills to be able to go out there and not only find your own work, but create your own work as well. It's something that they very much say to us: if you can't find acting roles, go out there and create your own, because then you're never going to be out of work.
That's true. Now, my next question I was going to ask you is, my friend works for Yankee Candle, and they came over from England. Is it true that Yankee Candle is more expensive in the overseas than in the States?
I know they are expensive candles. They're very nice candles. So, I suppose they may. I don't know what they retail for over there in the States, but I know they are sort of pricey. But you do, it's like anything. You get what you pay for. So they are very good quality, but they are also very popular over here.
That's true. I think it's like one candle is like $15.
Yeah, it's probably you're probably talking 50, maybe the exact equivalent is, rather than taking into consideration the exchange, it probably is about £15, maybe more. It depends where you go for them. Yeah. It is unusual that I suppose you've got to take into account things like shipping costs and that sort of stuff that it's gonna, and get it to your market. It depends where you're selling them. In this country, you sell something where I live and sell the exact same product, say down in London, you will get more for your product in London, because for some reason the further south you seem to go, the more expensive things get.
Now, what is the difference between, I know like you look at the states, different states have different accents, but where in England are you from, and how different is that, say, from South England to North England? Is that like, do you guys have the same accents, or do they have...
Absolutely not, no. I live just outside of Leeds, which is in Yorkshire, and Yorkshire itself has a county, and I can literally go 10 minutes away and they talk completely differently to what I do. So, go down south and they talk very differently. Go higher up north, go towards places like Newcastle, again, they will talk completely differently. So we have a vast array of accents in this country. I love accents because it's something that I do enjoy. There are some that I can do, some there's an awful lot that I can't. I can only do 2 or 3 at the minute. But yeah, there's a massive difference in accents.
No, I agree. And now the other question I was going to ask you is the retail market. I like to know, out of curiosity, how different is the retail market from the States to over in England? Because, over at the States, they can lie to you and say, oh, the unemployment, it's down, that's why. Stores aren't closing, that's why. And people hate retail in the States. That's true. At least they got one out right. But over in England, do you guys have like store closings, and what is the retail, what is like the difference in the culture of retail from overseas to here?
Firstly, we love shopping. We do love shopping. Oh, I should have said the majority of us. It's seen as quite often you'll go out with girlfriends, things like that, go have a shopping day, and that sort of stuff. We do have the ones where, certain companies will almost permanently have a sale. Maybe not a closing down sale, but they'll this sale, it ends on Monday. Come Tuesday, oh, this sale ends on Friday. And it's like that. And that's usually for sort of larger items like furniture and that sort of thing, and stuff. We have varying degrees of, sort of price points and stuff. I've been around, your supermarkets compared to ours are tiny. Ours are tiny, should I say, compared to yours. But, supermarkets over here are great because it's not just grocery shopping. You can get all sorts in the supermarkets now. Just sort of, obviously, you do it on a bigger scale than we do. But we've got Walmart over here now. They've taken over a company that we used to have called Asda. It's still called Asda, but Walmart do own them. So we're getting that sort of influence over here,
nice.
Which is great. We love a bargain. We absolutely love a bargain. So if we think we're saving some money because we've gone to one supermarket rather than another, then yeah, it's brilliant. Or one store compared to somewhere else.
That's true. And my friend, let's see, I was going to refer her by name, but I have a friend who lives in England. She works over at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty interesting how we all have this. Okay, in a way, it's pretty interesting. We all have the same stuff, but at the same time, it's. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find the words out. It's comfort in knowing we have the same stuff, but at the same time, knowing if you go to a different country, you're going to experience things a little bit differently. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. You go into other parts of Europe, and things like that, and it'll be totally different. Yeah, my parents are literally on their way back from Denmark. We went there a couple of years ago. Their shopping is totally different. It's on a much smaller scale, unless you go to like a big city, say like Copenhagen or something. But their supermarkets are very tiny. They don't have a lot of processed food. It's all sort of fresh fruit, vegetables, that sort of thing. They'll go out every day and buy the fresh bread, whereas we'll go to the supermarket, buy the bread, stick it in the freezer, whatever. It is interesting going and seeing somewhere different and how the shops compare.
Now, my other question, actually, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you two last hard-hitting questions. And again, I'm going to pass the show over to you.
My name is Vanessa Lina. Asian Lolo. This is Cynthia Bass today. I'm Sonia Fisher. This is Shane Smith. My name is Alexandra Bowie.
My name is Amelia Clover. Hi, I'm Amy Linden.
Hi, I'm Anita Nicole Brown.
It's Renee Green.
Hi, my name is Asata Caldwell.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brooke.
Hi, I'm Bryn Berg.
Hi, I'm Casey Dunn.
Hi, it's Cassandra Kavinsky.
Hi, I'm Christina Briza.
I'm Cindy Hogan. I'm Courtney Sinello.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
My name is Deborah Jane East.
Hi, my name is Dinah Maasea.
Everyone, I'm Victoria London.
Hi, I'm Heather Crona.
Hi, I'm Heather Callahan Stevens.
Hi, I'm Jay Nicole Ralph.
My name is Jamie Petrone.
My name is Julie.
My name is Julia Brankovic.
Kathleen Wills.
Kimberly Amato.
Hi, my name is Laura Putnam.
Hi, I'm Laura Shapanis.
Hi everyone, I'm Alyssa Damas.
This is Michelle Mupo, aka Fuchsia.
I'm Rachel Rivera.
Hi, my name is Sarah Joy Mount.
Hi, I'm Susan Brender.
Hi everyone, this is Venus Leone.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Turner.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Herrera, and I was just on the Keith Andrew Network. It was tons of fun. We used up all our time and then some. I really recommend this show, and try to be a guest on Keith's show. It was super
fun. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 508. I'm here with Sharon. Now, the couple questions that I was going to ask you, wrapping up on the retail one, though, is what is your honest opinion of stores going out of business? For an example, I used to work for Toys R Us, but everyone keeps saying, oh, it's because of Target, it's because of Walmart, people shopping online, and I say to people, it's not the stores, it's the people. And the reason it's the people, because people are too damn lazy, to get off their ass, go into a car, and socialize with other people. Okay, granted, there are some people you do not want to socialize with, so you like to keep them at arm's length. But at the same time, if you're just saying, oh, no big deal, I can press a button, there you go. But at the same time, you're putting people out of work. So do you think the online market, it's killing the retail market?
I can see that one. For me personally, I like shopping online for certain things, but there are certain things that I want to be able to go and pick that product up. I want to touch it. I want to see what it feels like, see if it looks any good. You can't get that from a picture. Doesn't matter how good the pictures are. Even if there's a video there, it's still not the same. And I must admit, we were, really sad that Toys R Us went. Because it was somewhere that we used to love taking. I've got two young girls. I've got two grown-ups, but I've got two younger children as well. And we used to love taking them there for birthdays, Christmas, things like that, or just as a treat and stuff. So yeah, we're going to miss Toys R Us. But I do agree that it's too easy sometimes to just press a button and it's there. But you just don't get that same shopping experience. It's great if you need something quick or you want to browse because you're not quite sure what you're looking for. But if you want to see what a product's like and see whether it's any good or not, sometimes I think you do need to physically hold that product and have a good look at it. So yeah, the online market has its place, I think, definitely. But so do stores. I'm one that quite likes going around the stores and having a look at stuff.
No, I'm the same way too. I have to go and, there's certain things like for the shirt, I'm not going to say, oh, looks nice online. I guess I'm going to push a button. But I mean, I have to, like you said, physically, I have to feel everything. I have to feel the shirt, make sure it's right, and make sure it's the right pair of pants. There's other things like you can do without blinking an eye. Oh, you want a toy cat? No big deal, okay? But it's funny because, let's see, it's 18. I said this about like a year or so. I said this in 17 or 16. It said eventually people are going to get haircuts from their house. There's got to be a machine where you stick your head in, like, some people stick their head in the oven. But there's times where people, you can stick your machine in a machine. You stick your head in a machine, and it gives you a haircut. And recently, I don't know if you saw it, they actually have now in the works a machine that gives you a haircut. I'm like, I'm not letting a freaking robot touch my head.
No, I've not seen that one, but yeah, because it's going to get to the stage. I know we've already got things like fridges that will link up to the internet. Yeah. It'll show you what's in there, and it records what you put in it and things like that. So it will automatically order your shopping and that sort of thing. It's good for convenience, but it's taking away that shopping experience. For me, I like to browse around the stores and have a look around there. see new products that's out as well. I'm very much an impulse buyer sometimes. So if I'm walking past and there's a promotion for something new, I'll be the one having a look at it.
No, I agree, especially when you have a haircut machine and there's like a glitch and people say, oh, your hair's supposed to, handle's supposed to stop, but I keep constantly going and going, and you get your head out, it looks like you're a bloody mess.
Yeah, that's the problem. Machinery can go wrong.
It's true, and my last question on this subject, and I will pass the show to you, is I don't know if they're over in England yet, but how do you feel about self-driving cars?
Yes, they are. I don't know if they're actually on for sale, but obviously we've heard of them because there was one when they first came out that basically it crashed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was a fatal accident. So yeah, I'd take it with a pinch of salt and go. Don't know if I could trust it, because obviously they've proved that they're not flawless. There are things out there that prove that they can go wrong. I think it was the sun that the sun was shining on the car and it couldn't see a white van in front of it, so it didn't stop and ran straight into the back of the van.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Until they're vastly improved, then it'll be a no-go.
The one I heard was the computer saw the side of a pickup truck and one of those 18-wheelers, and because it was white, it, I guess, automatically thought, oh, white, it's the sky. So it just plowed on through right into the side of a truck. I'm like, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But there's a scene in the movie Upgrade. It's a good movie, it's about artificial intelligence, people turning themselves into robots. Instead of having guns, they would put it's like Dragon Ball Z, how you can shoot things out of your hand. But it's pretty cool, but it's like, why do you want to turn yourself into a robot? But there's a scene where you find out those self-driving cars can be hacked. They can have computer glitches, and they're like, oh, push a button, push the pedals or brakes, but the doors are locked, and you're at the mercy of a machine. So it's not really a ringing endorsement. See that in Upgrade. But nothing's going to be perfect. There's going to be computer errors. There's always going to be, unfortunately, human errors. I do mine on an everyday basis. But the question I was going to ask you, and you mentioned earlier, you were learning how to pretend to do sword fighting and make it look real, and there was a script you wanted to talk about as well.
Yeah. Well, actually, earlier tonight, I've just got back from this month's course. It's a stage combat course that I'm doing with a company called Ravenwolf Cinematic Combat.
Oh, nice.
And they basically teach you how to do armed and unarmed combat using swords and staffs and things like that, and how to make it look like you said, make it look real on film. And it's good fun. It's hard work. It takes a lot of concentration. There's a lot to remember, especially tonight, the stuff that we've been doing with the swords and things. But yeah, I love it. So I've just realised that just how unfit I am though. So I do need to up my game. Because the swords are heavier than they look.
That's true. And there's this thing I was thinking about being a wrestler. That's never going to happen. But it's like when you throw a punch, they show you go halfway and the person reacts. But then there's some people that get carried away. But it's the same thing. I think I was talking to my brother or something, or my dad said, how do you throw a fake punch? Or can you throw a fake punch? And that goes with the sword thing. Can you do a fake sword strike without actually hitting the person? You have to make it look real without actually hidden in person. So it is harder than it looks.
Yeah. A lot of it, letting people in on the secrets of the film industry, but it's done with camera angles, and how you do, where the swords hit. Then, yes, sometimes they do make contact, but not to a point of hurting somebody, but just so that it looks more real, things like that. But yeah, a lot of it is done with camera angles, especially if you're throwing punches.
Yeah.
If a camera angle can see from the side, you can see that there will be a space between hand and whichever body part you're hitting, whereas it's probably done from the back. So all you're getting is the person. You can see an arm moving, and it's the person's reaction, and that's generally what makes it look good, is their reaction, rather than the person that's actually throwing the punch or whatever.
No, that's true. And wrapping up your show, I do have one more question about it. Do you guys talk during the sword fight, saying, okay, do that, but you kind of hide the fact that you're talking, but you do talk. Like, for an example, I'm a big wrestling fan, if you can say. During some of the matches, you can actually tell when they're actually speaking. Is that the same thing during the sword fight? You're making it look real, but you're actually still communicating.
There may be dialogue, because obviously if it's a film, then there may be script that you're following. Right. But it's not done as a distraction from the fighting. If you watch a sword fight in a film, they're concentrating on fighting. It's all choreographed out beforehand. They know exactly which moves they're going to make, unless they're very, very good and can freestyle and things. But generally, they're choreographed out and rehearsed, so that everybody stays safe. Because that's the ultimate, is that nobody wants to get hurt on set.
That's true. Now, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. Wrapping up, the first question I was going to ask you: are you on social media? Are you on LinkedIn, Stage 32, Twitter, Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm trying to think of any others. Pinterest I use as well. So yeah, I use all of those. I think I'm on Stage 32, but I don't use it very much. I don't think it's not so popular over here. I
use it occasionally, but it depends if I am in a mood or not.
Yeah, LinkedIn's a bit like that with me. I'm learning on that's my newest one, is learning how to use LinkedIn. But I'm always on Facebook. I love Facebook for networking, finding acting roles as well. It's always good because there's loads of acting groups on there, and Twitter's always great for networking as well.
No, absolutely. I hope MySpace makes a comeback.
I haven't used MySpace for a long time. I think that's gone.
I was a big fan until they changed the format. And once they did the format from up and down to left and right, it's like, yeah, you just ruined it for me. Plus, it was very slow.
Yeah, it wasn't something that I used very much at all.
And now, my last question I was going to ask you, wrapping up, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction, and what made you say yes?
Partly, an interview's an interview. I'm always happy to do interviews and talk about the stuff that I do. And also, I spoke to a friend of mine, Katie Red Star. She'd done an interview with you.
Yes.
So personal endorsement as well from a friend, and things. And it was just to me say, do you want to do an interview? And I'm like, yeah, of course I will. I'll happily do that. At the time, I hadn't realised you were in the States, but that doesn't make that's not a problem. I'm happy to do an interview. But the joys of the internet means that it doesn't matter where people are.
No, absolutely. And hey, Skype is free compared to a phone call. You would be, well, we've been talking for like a half hour or so. Imagine that phone call. You know, how much.
I don't want to. That would be costly.
But I do have a couple questions for you off the air about wrapping up. It was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
That's great. Well, it's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed it. I've loved talking to you, and fingers crossed we can do it again soon.